introduction now for the VODs. Welcome everyone to this dotacommentaries.com presentation. I am LD. I am joined today by my good friend, Southeast Asian Malaysian superstar Siege. We are casting Gizmo versus Veyron for the ProDota2 Asia non-pro region. This is not a qualifier. This is the actual league play. Today's the first day of action. Our first game was a 25-minute triple racks thrown. So hopefully this one's a little more competitive, a little more back and forth. But with that being said, looks like we will have Gizmo having the first ban and thus the first pick as well on the Radiant, which makes sense. This is a best out of one series for anyone who doesn't know. And let me just make sure my overlay is correct. Indeed it is. Siege, how are you doing? Thanks for joining me.
I'm doing well. So, have you seen either of these teams play?
I am actually not familiar with either of them. I'm sure I will be by the end of the season, but for now they are a mystery to me.
Alright, so...
How about you?
I believe I've seen Veyron popping it up a couple of times, but I am not sure about Gizmo.
Okay.
Anyway, so Veyron not a big fan of Invoker. Let's see what Gizmo go for. I'm not surprised if they'll ban out Chen or something.
Well,
they seem to be taking a strong anti-push ban.
See, maybe you can answer this for me. What is with all the Syllabaire bans lately? I mean, trust me, I've watched a lot of Dota 1. I know how powerful he can be. But he's never picked in Southeast Asia at Dota 1. But for some reason, and maybe this is just a difference between the non-pro teams and the pro teams, he is like the flavor of the month for either immediate bans or picks. And the reason I think that he's not popular is he's not super mobile early. He wants to farm a lot. And sure, he can push decently, but he's pretty easy to gank before he hits level 6. And even then, he's not that hard to gank. It's not like he's Blink. So he doesn't really fit in when you see teams snapping up Queen of Pain, Anti-Mage, all of these very aggressive... Well, Anti-Mage is not the best example, but very mobile, aggressive heroes. Heroes like, even Earthshaker or Sand King. I mean, so what are your thoughts? Why do you think he's getting banned or picked so much early on?
Well, it's mainly that there's a less number of heroes in the pool. I don't know if Phantom Lancer is actually in. He's enabled in the test build.
He's not.
So I don't know if we'll see him in the. He's not in this version, right?
He's not in Captain's mode yet. That's correct.
Okay, he is enabled in the test build. So will he? I'm not sure if he'll make an appearance in this tournament.
No, anyway, he won't.
Lone Druid might be. I think they're just banning him out because he's very annoying in the laning phase, and also because that's what the pro teams do. Everyone wants to be like the pros.
That's true. I mean, Dota is definitely a game of imitation, and you see this in a lot of other titles. If you watch StarCraft 2, you'll see a lot of players, as they rise through the ranks, imitating, the top pros, and certainly that is true in Dota as well. It is a very trendy game. Lycan is banned. Now, that hero I am not surprised to see banned at all, because he is a very strong pusher. He can lane reasonably well. He's amazing in the jungle. So hard to shut down a good Lycan.
I am really surprised to see him get banned by the team with first pick, though.
That's a good point, yeah. And for me, it's always interesting, because if a team has first pick and they ban a hero, it means they don't value him as highly as someone else. Now, of course, I'm trying to think who's in the pool.
Maybe they're just going for the standard 4+1 strat, not going for a very push-oriented strat.
Yeah, of course, if you want to farm all day with, say, a Morphlane or an Anti-Mage, then you gotta ban heroes like Lycan. And Darkseer, fits in pretty well if you want to run either of those carries, now that I think about it. Now, of course, there are still counters in the pool if they want to go for some sort of hardcore farming carry. Riki would probably be the most notable. But I can't read too much into the draft just yet, as we've only seen 3 bans, and none of these are atypical. Darkseer, I have to say, has been really rising in the ranks, and I think it's a smart ban. Ever since the Star series, he's just skyrocketed. Of course, he was very popular for a long time a couple of months ago. Then Aghanims got nerfed. He sort of fell off. But now he's very firmly seated atop the heap because a lot of teams, I'm guessing, watching the Star Series saw just the ridiculous vacuum black hole combos, not only from M5, also from Na'Vi, and I think even CLG ran it in one game. It's been a while since that land. I could be wrong, but a lot of teams love to run that.
Still pretty strong.
Yeah, even if you don't land the wall, he's just so good in the laning phase, so hard to kill. A nice support, a counter to any slowing lineups. So, who do you? In terms of the current hero pool, like what we've seen, what's banned, is there anyone that stands out to you as an obvious first pick here? Because I'm not sure there is for me.
I would go for the Chen or the.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, Chen has not been.
Earthshaker.
Duh, how could I forget Chen? But yeah, Earthshaker actually he's been first picked a lot. And I think the reason is he's a very reliable stun. And of course he benefits from levels, but he doesn't need them as much as say like a Tidehunter or a Sand King, where you really need that ultimate to be completely effective. Just Fissure can be so nice for stopping pushes, setting up ganks. Will they combo him with anyone though? Because the last time we saw an Earthshaker, he was very underleveled. He was running around with the CM, and this was the game I cast earlier today. I think at the end of the game he was level 6, and even when he dropped his ult, it was just 20 minutes into the game, it did absolutely nothing. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see one that gets a little more farm this time around.
I really want to see what the Dai are going to respond with, because the first pick Earthshake is rather uncommon to say the least. You would generally pick a stronger hero.
Well, it's a very specific kind of hero, right? When you pick an Earthshaker, you're saying we want to win team fights, we want to stop pushes. And maybe we want to have some good early, roaming and ganking. But for the most part, you're kind of tipping your hand. Whereas if let's say you pick a Windrunner first, really leaving things open. Oh, there's another hero that's still in the pool. Of course, how could I forget about the lovable pandaren brewmaster and his good buddy leshrac? There's a lot of team fight, a lot of early game chasing power with the panda, a lot of pushing power with the leshrac. A very strong 1-2 punch. How will Gizmo respond? Because, in my opinion, you just gave away 2 of the stronger heroes that are left in the pool for a hero that you could probably get later on.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I also like to point out that Chen and Enchantress have actually slipped out of favor recently. You haven't seen an Enchantress ban for quite a while.
I saw one played in the last game I cast. She went for a really fast medallion. They had a Prophet as well, and a Beastmaster, and they were just pushing like crazy. If you get that kind of a start, she can be amazing. But we've also seen Enchantresses, if they get off to a bad start, they die even once. They can be useless all game. And unlike Chen, they don't have the big AoE heal, or the global heal for the team. They can't send their allies back to base. They can't keep their armies up as well in the mid game. So to me, if you want to go for a jungler, I think it's hard to take the Chen over the Enchantress, unless you just want a little bit of a stronger early game, because you're giving up a lot in the mid game to get her.
You mean the Enchantress over the Chen?
Yeah, if you pick the Enchantress over the Chen, you're giving up a very strong mid game for just a little bit of a better early game. Especially if you pick one, you're leaving the other in the pool, and they can always counterpick you as well.
It's fixed though. The creeps don't expire, do they? Or is that also in the test build?
Enchantress creeps still expire.
But
I don't think they're bugged.
With Chen?
Oh, I don't know about that bug. Ha! Obsidian Destroyer, Shadow Shaman. I like the Shadow Shaman pick a lot. If he ever gets a Blink Dagger up, there's your ability to shut down the Panda. You blink in, you hex him, you can drop the wards if you need to, and then you can shackle him. Plenty of time to burst him down. You also have the damage of the Obsidian Destroyer with that orb, who can chew through Panda pretty quickly. Of course, the mischance will be a little bit annoying. I like this response, and I really like the Shadow Shaman pick in particular. Gives them some good anti-push, though. Gives them a strong solo mid-hero, if that's how they want to run him. And gives them a lot of disables, which they're going to need to lock down Panda, because if you let him drop that ult, you're probably going to lose the team fight. Speaking of the team fight, Tidehunter is the next pick.
Team fight. I actually feel that they should have gone for a Pugna pick instead of the Tidehunter.
He's really annoying against OD, I will say that much. And of course Shadow Shaman too.
Also, right now they have 3 heroes which cast a lot of mana-intensive spells, and the Nether Ward would pretty much devastate them in a team fight.
It would actually own both teams, and it would fit in well. It would give them... Both of these teams could use a little bit more pushing power and some strong early game. Pugna definitely gives you that.
I'm surprised that I think that Gizmo would ban it out right now.
Well, they ban a Death Prophet, which is along the lines of a Pugna. A good team fight hero, a good pushing hero. Will they ban the Pugna is the question, because, I mean, I think you were mentioning it as a counter to Veyron's lineup, but it also counters Gizmo's quite hard.
No, it counters Gizmo.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm getting the teams mixed up here.
Yeah, I expected them to pick Pugna instead of the Tidehunter, and to ban out the Tidehunter.
Well, I mean, maybe they want to secure that good team fight. It is going to force BKBs really out of the Shadow Shaman and the OD. If it gets to the mid game, you have to have a BKB. That's the only way you can deal effectively with Ravage. If you're OD and you get Ravaged, you're probably dead. Same for the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah. Hang on one sec, I'll be back. Phone.
As we do see, Shadow Demon gets banned out. A strong support hero, and of course Gizmo needs a support hero. What they really need right now is a support hero that lanes effectively. They have the Earthshaker, very strong team fighting support, gives you some good roaming potential, but they need someone who can lane well, because right now, I mean, OD is a good laner, Shadow Shaman's a good laner, but these two heroes can't do it alone. They're going to need someone to try to pair with the Earthshaker if they want to double roam, which they could do.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm curious who they'll pick up.
Yes, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Sorry,
So I was just talking about the Shadow Demon ban, and it makes sense. Of course, Gizmo needs a support hero, whether it's a Crystal Maiden, who's kind of food, to be honest, for the Dire lineup. So I'm not sure that she's the right choice here. I guess you could go for a Vengeful Spirit. Dragonite is the ban. Oh, I like that ban. As OD has the potential to kill Dragonite pretty quickly in the mid game, because his orb ignores that armor. So OD can be very strong against him. But at the same time, until OD gets the orb maxed up, until he gets a bunch of levels, Dragonite is such a good pusher. And if you have Dragonite as well as leshrac, towers are going to die. That is for sure.
I think that I would actually love to see a Juggernaut pick up from Veyron. Go for that early push with the ward and take down towers with leshrac.
Yeah, that could work.
That could
work pretty well.
That would be a very fun strat to watch.
Yeah, and if they do it, I would hope to see, I guess, something like how Complexity has played the Juggernaut, where it get really fast drums, fast phase boots. Not a farming Juggernaut. It would have to be more of a mid-game one, because you don't want to go late game against OD. Hold on.
There's a Vengeful Spirit ban. That's a pretty good choice.
Yeah, I like the bans on the support.
A lot of repositioning. And we've seen some pretty good Vengeful Spirit initiations recently in professional games. For example, Orange versus, I think it was Zenith, where Vengeful Spirit hit level 16 and then just initiated with such great swaps, instantly focused on the swapped person.
Yeah, they have room for one more farmer, so if they wanted to pick a Venge, they could have run her as more of a farming, leveling, a Venge that's getting experience levels. Unfortunately, we will not see one today. So the question for Gizmo is, who's your support going to be? I mean, I'm guessing they're going to want... well, there's your hard lane or suicide lane. I expect we'll see Puck in that role. And they still need a support. The problem for me with Puck is, in order to stop pushes, you have to use your orb. But of course, when you use your orb, you're much easier to kill. He's very bad at controlling the lane, to be honest. I mean, Puck is reliant on getting runes, but we normally see him in the suicide lane, and with this lineup, I don't see where else he could go. Maybe Earthshaker can help him, depending who they pick as their last hero.
I'm surprised.
But Puck's going to have a hard time.
Would have been a lot better.
Yeah, she is stronger in the lane early on. I mean, it's pretty clear they want team fight. They want to try and win a team fight. But is that the right way to go? I mean, you're up against a panda and a tidehunter. It's pretty hard to beat them in a team fight. And, sure, if you get BKBs, then you're looking good. If you get Blink Daggers, you're looking good. But will you get them? Yeah, you called it, man. So props to you for that. And Pugna going to fit in quite well here. Of course, he'll be really nice against the Puck. leshrac and Pugna, man, that is some serious tower damage. I mean, these towers are going to die. Now you're talking about the additional team fight power of the ward. What do they do? I mean, what do you pick as your fifth to really deal with this? I guess you got to go support, so you're kind of limited in terms of your options here.
These are going to be some really splashy, big team fights once they start breaking out in the mid game.
Yeah, hopefully my computer is up to the task, as this will be intense to say the least.
I can't have you crashing out halfway, as usual.
Well, he's not going to help you in the anti-push department. Although I will say, Veyron does not have any summons. So the ult will be a little bit better. Of course, if Panda pops his ult, that's going to negate the Chain Frost. The Ice Armor not going to be too effective, really, against anyone on Veyron. To me, this was them not knowing what else to pick. It's not. I don't think it was the support they wanted. I think it's the support that they were sort of forced into.
10 seconds.
I actually think Crystal Maiden would have been better. Spirit. Well, she was banned.
5 seconds remaining.
Crystal Maiden.
I mean, she is pretty squishy, but Lich at the same time. Let's be honest, Lich is not exactly a tank. Oh, and more team fight from Veyron. Oh, this is going to be an interesting game. I mean, how many initiations do you have now? You've got the Ravage, you've got the Panda. Enigma if he gets a Blink Dagger. That is some scary team fight. Now, of course, they don't have the most late game. If this game goes for 50 minutes, I expect to see OD carry. But, there's your answer for the BKBs. You kind of need the BKB for all this magical damage. all these strong disables on Veyron, but then they have something of an answer in the black hole. It's going to be quite a game, man. This is some serious wombo combo.
Even if OD goes to 50 minutes, then the Dire side will all have BKBs, and it'll still be an interesting fight.
Well, that's very true.
Yeah.
So we'll talk a little bit more about the matchups, but let's introduce the players very quickly. For Veyron, we're going to have IR Tup. Looks like he'll be going mid, playing that panda. A veteran on the leshrac. I'm thinking it'll be a support leshrac, but he hasn't purchased anything yet. Newbie me handling that pugna. I think he's going to go solo top, but we'll see how that develops. Chocolate with an interesting, some interesting characters in the tag. Going to be on that hard support tidehunter. Mura on the enigma, and you want to go ahead and introduce the radio?
Okay, sure. So for the Radiant, we see a 5-man group up going bot, hoping to catch out any stragglers coming in to place a ward. We have CP3 of the horrible computer issues on Rasta. He looks like he's going for a mid Rasta.
Yeah, it looks like he'll be bottle rushing.
OD will be. Yep. OD is Jing. He should be on the safe lane, with JXJ on Fuck going up on the suicide lane. Yeah, he does have a lot of regen, so yeah, he's definitely suicide lane.
To battle.
G Glies will be on Lich. He'll be their support with Sean's on Earthshaker.
Yeah,
like Earthshaker should be roaming a lot, hopefully.
Yeah, he's picked up 4 clarities, normally a sign that a hero likes to roam.
We might see initiation, maybe?
Well, this could go very badly for Veyron as they are spotted by this ward. I'm not sure if they realize it. Lich got there really quickly. Veyron was a little bit slower. They are going to back off. It looks like it will be a farming leshrac. So I guess Enigma playing the others. Is it? I think Enigma's the other support, right? Or Tidehunter.
Enigma should be the jungle.
Tidehunter bought wards, smoke.
Oh wait, no, it's a tri-lane bot.
Huh. Well,
that's interesting.
This is interesting. I mean, normally you like to see Enigma either soloing or in the jungle to get the fast levels. You're going to be up against a pretty good defensive tri-lane. Especially, I mean, with Earthshaker, a tri-lane is automatically decent defensively. At the same time, the Dire has a lot of kill potential. You've Edict, you've Gush. Malefice at level 1. Well, he's actually picked up Conversion. But Malefice at level 1 is not that strong. The Conversions, however, they are very dangerous, quite potent. Aggressive ward being placed behind the tower here. If they try to do any sort of pulling, it's not going to work. I don't know. I would like to see Enigma maybe get a couple levels and then come back to the lane, but for now, he is going to be tri-laning.
I sort of feel that they would do a lot better with Enigma versus the tri-lane solo. Sure, he might not be able to farm as well, but then he'll be able to roam mid and gank and win top lane as well by pulling.
Yeah, the Radiant do have a ward that'll see some of the jungle rotations, but certainly not all of them. And I expect Enigma would be coming from this more rearward path. Oh, you can actually draw on the screen now, but yeah, I'd expect to see him coming this way rather than over this way. Speaking
coming in from behind the mid.
Yeah, exactly. Rather than down through the past the ward as he walks past the ward. So gonna be grabbing that region. And the top lane, it's a Puck versus a Pugna. This is not a horrible lane for Puck, but I definitely expect Pugna to win. He's got better base damage, he's got a more spammable nuke, he's got a better auto attack animation, and he's got better range. So expect Pugna to win this lane.
He's also going for a he's already got a Basilisk, which is a very interesting choice. I think he'll be going for that very fast push. Yeah, as we speak, he's going to start damaging down the tower with the blast. So he'll be expecting he'll want to take out this tower by about 6 minutes, 10 minutes. Then rotate to the other lanes and start going to town.
Well, I would normally say it could be a lot faster, but of course you need leshrac or Enigma there to do it. Speaking of that Enigma, he has managed to hit level 2. Everyone on this Dire lineup is level 2. Earthshaker's still level 1. Going for the Fissure block, tanking a lot of conversion damage. He should back off immediately. And indeed he does. I don't think this Radiant lineup should have any... They should not. There should be no attempt to go aggressive here. OD is not a strong hero in a tri-lane. Sure, he can farm. He's got decent defensive capabilities with that Astral Imprisonment, but you're not killing anyone. Gush on the Earthshaker. Looks like they want to go for a tower dive. I don't think they should, and it looks like they're going to back off.
Yeah, they're pretty much dominating that lane in terms of aggression.
I mean, you just...
In terms of... What? You go ahead.
Well, I just don't think you can go aggressive. Well, speaking of aggressive, it looks like they disagree with me. OD has picked up a single point in that orb. This is very unorthodox. Normally you see OD maxing Astral Imprisonment and the Essence Aura by level 7, Essence Aura by level 7, and then either maxing Astral Imprisonment or at least getting a couple of levels and then going back for the orb. OD tagging a bunch of creeps here. He's going to take some Eidolon damage, forced to back off. So, punch is being traded, but so far nobody going down. I mean, one thing I will say is Lich is very happy to be in this situation. As I did miss first blood on the middle lane, Shadow Shaman solo killing the Panda. Did he have a rune or something?
No, I think Panda overextended, got caught by the shackle and towered.
Okay, can you look at the Shadow Shaman skills? Are you seeing 2 points in Ether Shock, 1 point in Shackles? Is he getting stats? He's level 5.
No, he just didn't.
Okay, he just leveled up.
He got one level. I think he hit level 5 from that kill.
Yeah, he must have got 2 levels from it. That's a pretty big kill to have. In the bottom lane, earthshaker trying to do some pulling. Actually, this ward does not block the kip. Initiation on Lich, he gets Fissure. Nice defensive Fissure coming out. Really well played. This is the power of earthshaker in a tri-lane on tri-lane situation. Is even when things look their worst, that Fissure comes out and any hopes of getting a kill are gone. So really well played by him.
Going aggressive on
and action in the middle lane, but yeah, it looks like that's going to be the kill to watch. Nether Blast coming out. This is what you expect. You expect Pugna to win this lane. Nice job by him. And the score now tied up 1-1. So Puck winning the top lane, meanwhile Shadow Shaman winning the mid.
Puck losing top lane.
Or, excuse me, Pugna. Pugna. Gotta say those names more similar than they should be. Eidolon's being dropped here. The pushing power is evident. Edict being dropped as well. Lich using that Nova defensively just to try and prevent damage to the tower. It is taking quite a bit though. Already down to half HP. I feel like if Enigma had just been jungling and now showed up to the lane, they could be doing the same thing, NDB level 5. But I suppose they're worried about this defensive tri-lane, so it's going to mean an underfarmed Enigma, that's for sure.
Yeah, another thing to speak on. Other than the first regeneration rune, none of the heroes, the support heroes, have attempted to contest runes. I'm not sure if the runes have actually just spawned only top or what, but we've seen one rune go to Rasta, and then Invis rune go to Panda, which didn't really help him since he died.
Yeah, Invis rune is nice, but you need another hero. You're not going to solo kill Shadow Shaman, at least not without your ultimate. Astral Imprisonment going out on leshrac, just for a little bit of int stealing there. Nothing really to write home about. I think the next push or two, if they can get it going, will be able to secure this tower. Let's take a look at the gold graph. This is a very slow game, I have to say. It's only 100 gold difference. Really nothing notable there. Let's take a look at the creep farm. Shadow Shaman up to 24. OD getting good farm.
Oh. And Rasta gets an invis. So yeah, with the wards going down, Panda's coming in for a gank. Let's see if he can take the tower.
And he does have his ult. This could be a huge team wipe if Panda gets off a good ultimate. Gush on earthshaker. Expect to see him fall momentarily. Clap is stopped by the fissure there. The dive will continue. He's got mana for the ultimate. Should be dropping. And he's taking out nice defensive astral imprisonment. Will it be enough? No, it will not. The stun cleans him up. And it looks like the dive continues. Panda dropping the ultimate behind the tower. He doesn't really have too much backup. Should see a gush momentarily. Boulder toss on the Lich. Cyclone on the OD. Really nice micro here from the Panda, but just not enough damage. They're going for both heroes at once. This is pretty greedy. I would like to see them just focus a single hero. Looks like OD will be the target of choice. OD getting blocked in. He's going to go down. Big kill. This will most likely be the death of the tower. Yeah, really well played by the Panda. He also chased the Lich all the way back with that Fire Panda, so great micro from him. I mean, we certainly expect to see a Panda in a higher level play use all of his summons, but he used those really quickly. That was nice. And this is most likely going to be a tower down.
If they don't get the tower, then it's going to be sort of a waste because they're giving up a free mid tower.
Shadow Shaman, yeah, did drop his wards on the mid tower. Sorry I missed that, guys. But
Puck is rotating bot to try and stave off this push.
Well, if you force Puck out of the lane, Pugna is going to be quite happy to push his TP into this bottom tower. Oh, Lich in a lot of trouble. They should have gone on that. I guess they were afraid of additional TPs. Speaking of additional TPs, Malefice going out on Lich. There's no backup though. Puck is level 6. Will he drop the ultimate? Enigma looks to be the target of choice here. He gets slowed. He eats that Puck Dream Coil. Looks like Enigma's going to go down. Full on retreat for Veyron. I think if they just gone aggressive, as soon as Lich TP'd in, they could have snowballed that into a couple of kills. Instead, they lose one, they're forced to back off. Meanwhile, up top, Pugna doing what he does best, pushing down that tower. And Lich now roaming all the way over to mid. He wants to drop a ward, or maybe just go defend that tower. Shadow Shaman wards up in 25 seconds. Yeah, he wants that ultimate to be sure. Shadow Shaman ward's going to be up in 20 seconds, so they're looking to take a tier 1 bottom.
Actually, that bot trade was pretty good. Tower for the Enigma, that was alright to buy a book. They couldn't have gone that aggressive because aggression on the Lich would have been overextending. Rasta and everyone else was hitting it.
Well,
Could have gone a lot worse if they went over.
I don't know. Shadow Shaman was pretty late. Speaking of Shadow Shaman, he does drop the wards, but there's no creep support. This is just going to be some farm. Sure, the tower will take a little bit of damage. Tower does not get denied top. Pugna is able to last hit that. 2 smoked up here is for the Dire. A Panda who doesn't have his ult pops the illusion rune. I don't believe the illusions are smoked. They are not, so this gank is telegraphed actually. That was a bad time to pop them. I believe this ward spotted them. Immediate retreat from the Radiant. And speaking of that Tidehunter, seems to happen a lot nowadays. Support Tidehunter level 3, nowhere near that Ravage. Of course, being in tri-lane is not helping him. Additionally, Enigma only level 4. leshrac, it does hit level 5, so he'll have Edict, but you know he's not the hero who's game breaking once he hits level 6. It's definitely that Enigma and Tidehunter, and right now they're not getting the levels.
Yeah, and right now Lich is out leveling both of the spots, so he's gonna have his ult in 2 minutes maybe.
Well, that's what happens when Lich is up against the tri-lane. Panda Illusion is doing a little bit of scouting, doing a little bit of harassment here. Shadow Shaman going to be farming up some jungle creeps. Looks like the Dire are real spread out right now. The lanes are pushing pretty hard. Panda's all the way over mid, 3 heroes down bottom, and then just Pugna up on this top lane. Looks like he's going for a mechanism. Certainly a standard choice. They want to go for early push. It makes sense, they have the heroes to do it. Gush initiation on the bottom lane. OD going to be going down, indeed he is. Edict doing too much damage, and of course, some of that damage is physical, so it is going to make him drop faster when he's got that lowered armor from the Gush. Well played by the Dire, they're pushing their advantage, and they're picking off lone heroes. This is where OD really struggles. He's not good at these larger engagements, especially early on. He's just too squishy. Sure, he can disrupt one hero, or he can disrupt himself, but if he disrupts one, the others can attack him, and if he disrupts himself, they can just surround him. So it's gonna be difficult for them to defend towers, especially once Enigma and Tide hit level 6.
Ooh. I don't know, they could have taken out that. They could have done some serious damage to the bot tier 2, but elected to chase the Lich.
So, I'm not sure if I caught that. Hastered on the Panda. Uh-oh, this could be big. He's got the Thunderclap, 2 points in Drunken Brawler. Interesting, he's not going for any points in stats, and not a single point in Drunken Haze yet. With this Hastered as well as this ult, anyone he runs into is most likely dead. He wants to go in mid, he doesn't see OD. This could actually be a turnaround the other way. No, he's actually not going to run into anyone.
No, he's going to wait for backup. They're on the mid tier 1 tower.
Yeah, very anticlimactic in the end. But looks like the push will commence in the middle lane. Enigma getting close to level 6. I honestly think they'd be better off just splitting up for like 2 minutes, get level 6, and then on both these heroes and then push. As that would be significantly more threatening, but for now that's not the way they want to go. Orb going in doing a bunch of damage, or a decent amount of damage, but not going to be enough to stop the push. Up in the top lane, Pugna goes down to a combination of Shadow Shaman plus Earthshaker. Mid tower is the trade, not a horrible trade by any means.
It's a pretty good trade.
I mean, if I'm the Dire, I'm pretty happy with that overall. Yeah, Pugna died, but he's already got the mechanism up, as well as those arcane boots.
They're still going aggressive on the mid tier too.
Yeah, Panda with a haster.
Anyone can actually defend this.
Stay the heck back. And imagine if the Dire were level 6, man. They could almost threaten high ground right now. Or at least force some TPs back. Well, they probably couldn't threaten high ground, but they could force some TPs.
They could get another tier 2 if they had level 6 right now.
Yeah, like, honestly, just go farm, guys. This is kind of frustrating. Panda clapping some creeps. Top tower does get pushed down in the meantime. Shadow Shaman dropped his wards. That's kind of...
leshrac actually opted to pick up a single point in his ult. He really wants that extra teamfight damage. And I guess they're trying to look for to force a fight.
Well, he wants more burst.
They don't have their ultimates, which is really... It's not going to work out well.
Like, these two just need to go jungle, man. This is getting a little insane. Up to 12 minutes now. This seems... I mean, it's one thing for the Tidehunter to be level 6. It's another thing for the Enigma to be level 6 as well. I mean, if he was jungling, he'd be level 7, level 8 by now, assuming he didn't die. Pause.
He'd also be very close to his dagger right now if he wanted to rush it.
Yeah, or, you know, if he wants to work towards a mechanism, he'd have that too. The farm is just non-existent for these supports.
They really need a pipe as well, too.
I mean, a lot of the farm is concentrated, in the hands of the Pugna, which is not bad by any means.
Panda as well, too.
Yeah, and the Panda, so there's a lot of pressure on them. I mean, leshrac's got arcane boots, he's doing okay. If you look at the Radiant, it's a little spread out more evenly. Arcane boots up on Earthshaker, arcane boots bottle wand up on the Shadow Shaman. Actually, let me just bring up this menu. Puck even has some items. Lich, pretty much nothing, but he's the hard support. OD with just the power shreds. OD's farm is suffering. He's got 900 gold. Wonder what he'll go for.
Pretty even.
Well, yeah, the gold graph is favoring the Dire.
60.
Yeah, but the team as a whole, it seems like the Radiant's a little more evenly distributed, whereas for the Dire, it's kind of spread out. Did the stream die? I don't think it died for me. Well, if anyone is watching the stream, then let me know. Okay, stream is not dead, so whoever's having issues, try refreshing. I'm not dropping any frames, so I don't think it's on my end. Looks like we're going to see a big confrontation on the bottom lane. 10 heroes grouping up. This is going to be a bunch of kills momentarily. Everyone on the Radiant is smoked. Puck leading the way. Panda is invis, scouting out absolutely everything, as well as this Dire ward. This could be a big fight going the Radiant, or excuse me, the Dire's way. Panda in perfect position to initiate. Fissure going out on the Pugna. Not sure he'll be able to be bursted down here. He drops the ward. He pops the mechanism. The chase going the other way. Panda doing decent work in the back lines. Earthshaker trying to set up for an Echo Slam. He drops it, but it's only on a Panda ult and an Enigma. Enigma's going to be just fine. Pugna still running away. Wasting a lot of time here. Oh, and the Lich ult doing absolutely nothing to the Panda. Panda looking for another clap. Is forced to run away from the Shadow Shaman. In the end, I say in the end, the fight continues. Black hole on 1 on 2. Looks like 2 are going to go down. There's that Pulse Nova doing a bunch of damage. 2 kills coming out for the Dire. Make it 3 kills actually, so a 3-2 trade. They did use the Black Hole, but overall I gotta say, I made a pretty even fight. A slight advantage to the Dire. Most crucially, Tidehunter still not level 6. He's finally going to go farm in the top lane. Probably kicking himself for not having the ultimate there.
Yeah, if he had that ravage right there, he would have won them the fight. And as it was 3 for 3 trade.
That was 3 for 3, okay.
Yeah, Tidehunter died early from the lich ult.
Yeah, that fight was all over the place. Sorry if I missed a kill here. I was trying to make sure I caught everything. But of course, you can only have the camera in one place at a time. So either way, Tidehunter looking for level 6. Looks like he'll finally get it. He's got a bracer, a little bit tankier. In terms of the gold graph, it leveled off, so it seems like that fight actually, well, it was pretty even. Still a slight advantage to the Dire, but it's mostly on the back of tower kills. In fact, solely on the back of tower kills, so it's not that big of a deal right now. Shadow Shaman initiation on the Tidehunter. Looks like Tide will get netted up. The ward's being dropped as well. Tide will go down. He has Ravage. He's not going to waste it. Smart play by him. He knew he was dead.
Well,
and he's going
kind of a waste.
Take his death like a man. Or like a fish, I suppose.
They're not going to have the wards for 1.5 minutes right now, and that's the mid-tier 1 that they could have got with those wards.
Well, the mid-tier 1 is dead, but I suppose if they wanted
sorry, the bot-tier 1.
Yeah, they could pressure it. It's a little dangerous though when you look at the Dire team fight. As Tidehunter is up again, he's got the Ravage, so with the Ravage up and the wards down, definitely don't expect to see a push. Obsidian Destroyer is quickly finding farm. He had 900 gold. He's got another 800. He's up to, let's see here, 47 creeps. Nothing to write home about. 65 on the Shadow Shaman. Let's see, is he close to a Blink Dagger? He's got a Blink and 50 gold. That's going to be huge. Once he's got the Blink, you can actually reliably shut down the Panda. Assuming you have some follow-up chain stun, you can prevent him from dropping that ultimate. Same for the Enigma. He's never going to get off the Black Hole if the Shadow Shaman plays it properly. So a lot of pressure will be on CP3 here. Can he perform with the Blink Dagger? Can he find the openings? Of course, the best way to do that is to have good vision. And if we take a look right now at the Radiant side, do they have the vision? This is
some really good wards up.
Yeah, pretty good defensive wards being placed here. No counter wards up for the Dire. Tidehunter really getting out in front here. He could run into the Shadow Shaman who has the Blink Dagger, but it could also end up turning the other way. 5 Dire heroes grouped up. They want the tier 2. Panda ult's up. Enigma ult is down. Ravage is up. So 2 of the 3 crucial ults are up. And of course, you're looking at leshrac. You're looking at some Eidolons. This push is coming hard. It's coming fast. I'm not sure the Radiant can stop it. It looks like they might not even try to. As, they have 2 heroes farming the other lane. It's just going to delay the push as long as they can. But in the end, the tower is going to go down virtually uncontested.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They're getting some much needed farm up on Puck, so that's pretty good.
But Lich ult being dropped. Blink in from the Shadow Shaman. Actually not in range. This might go the other way. Big Ravage coming out. Wards are dropped. Nice trap there on the Tidehunter. Panda ult was not used though, and they still get 2 kills for nil. A big fight going the Dire's way, and I don't know why they're contesting the tower without the Puck, who finally showed up in the back lines from the looks of it. He does get 1 hero, but another goes down for the Radiant. I mean, you can't team fight without the Puck. I don't know what they were thinking. And honestly, the OD is a lot of damage too, but in the end they go for the trade and it does not work out in their favor. Puck TP's out just in time.
They dropped 3 ults for 1, and didn't even defend the tower. So yeah, that was a...
Yeah, Black Hole is up,
pretty
Panda
good
ult is up.
risk.
This is free Roshan. Veyron knows it. Hopefully the illusions will be move commanded here, so they can tank up the tower. Nice play here coming out from Arta. And a misplay, to be honest, by Gizmo. Like, if you're not... I understand not wanting to team fight, because you're up against a Panda, and Enigma, and a Tidehunter. But if you're not going to team fight, then don't get caught. They got caught. So, I mean, you got to make up your minds. If you want to team fight, go all in. You need the puck there for sure. Maybe not the OD.
It looked like a huge indecision. It seemed that Lich was calling for the go, but he threw out the ult, and it was a pretty good choice too. Most of the heroes were grouped up, and there was no creeps nearby. But there just wasn't enough follow-up, and they didn't have enough people nearby to help out.
Yeah, I got to credit Veyron for that team fight. They spread out nicely. They didn't let Shadow Shaman get a good jump. And of course, Tidehunter ravaged immediately after the blink in. The wards were dropped. They got one kill. Yeah, it was a nice. Or actually, no, sorry. Did they get the kill? I'm actually forgetting now. But either way, he didn't get to use either of his disables. So that was the key to that team fight. Lich ult is down. The fight on the Panda slowly working down the Roshan here. Fisher coming in, not going to hit anyone. Do we have a blink dagger up on the Enigma? Is my question right now. No, he goes for the Ogre Axe and the phase boots. Actually, I did see that earlier, but I forgot. Edict doing a decent amount of damage here. Roshan being worked down. Initiation coming in. Gizmo looking for an opening here. The Pugna ward doing a ton of damage on the high ground. Big Dream Coil, big silence, and the Orb. Earthshaker dropping the ult. Will it be enough? Not going to be enough. leshrac uses his wand, continues to fight. Will he kill anyone? OD ult was dropped as well. Black Hole only on the Lich, but it's fine if they get him. This is going to mean Roshan. Meanwhile, Puck was trying to steal. He got the Aegis. He does not manage to orb out in time. 5 people down for the Radiant. Sure, they got the Aegis, but they gave up a lot to do it. Silence from the Puck. He's 300 gold short of the Blink Dagger. He's going to go down. Wow, I mean, the Radiant really wanted that fight, but that Pugna ward was just doing so much work on the high ground there.
Wow. Did they actually kill the Panda? Or did he die and buy back?
To be honest, you know, you gotta kill him the Lich, so no, I don't think he bought back. He didn't even use his ult in that fight. And Tidehunter's got his ult.
Full HP too, when they were fighting with Bucket and Rosh.
I mean, that was great play from the Puck, but this is the issue with Puck, is he needs someone else who can follow up and initiate. Like, you've got a Shadow Shade with the Blink. That's nice, but he's not going to stun their entire team. He's not going to disable their entire team. If they had a Tidehunter, that fight would have been completely different. Because Tide would have walked in and ravaged after the Puck.
If they had the Lich ult, that would have been a huge change too.
Yeah, it was on cooldown. I mean, Lich ult at Roshan, absolutely crucial. Of course, you do have a Panda who can pop his ult. You have Eidolons who can tank up the damage if they're there.
No, that's still a lot of damage.
It is a lot of damage. So, you know, we can theorycraft all we want, but in the end, Veyron takes a convincing victory in that team fight. That being said, there is an OD who's getting decent farm. If we take a look at the gold draft, it's only a 4,000, well, a little over 4,000 difference. Pretty even, I have to say, especially considering that the Radiant are going to have, well, I mean, once the OD gets up some items, he can burst heroes down. If he ever gets, you know, maybe a Hex up, which is very, you know, those are big aspirations for a guy who's got 1,400 gold in the bank at the moment. But if he ever gets one up, he can burst it. Yeah, he can burst some heroes down, man. So don't underestimate OD. That pure damage is great. Even against heroes like Panda and Tidehunter, you can burst them down very quickly. This Puck, or excuse me, this Pugna is really farmed. Man, I keep on mixing those two up. He's got a Force Staff, he's got a Point Booster. To go with that Arcane Boots and Mechanism, getting into all sorts of gold. Speaking of that gold, how much does he have exactly? 400 gold per minute. He is the high farmer in the game. And this is the power of Pugna. I mean, you called it as a strong counter to the Radiant lineup. And that ward has been crucial in team fights, and continuing to play well. They're going to look to push.
That ward decimated Rasa. And yeah, they're going to get this mid tier 2. I don't think that Gizmo want to fight this at all. Their best trade right now would be to go on the mid, with the bot tier 1.
Force staff from the OD looks like Edict just going to melt that tower. No defense mounted. CP3 going to be working down the bottom tower. 1 TP coming in. Is he going to drop the wards? No, the tower's just going to get denied. Hex on the Brewmaster. Will he drop the wards? He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. No, he's going to blink away. So, tower does not get denied, actually. Brewmaster chased in the end. That cost them the tower. But Shadow Shaman maybe going to get caught out here. Yeah, 2.
He is definitely caught out.
Will he drop the wards before he dies? The question, or will he just go down? Nice ward trap on the Tidehunter. But Tidehunter is too tanky. I doubt we'll see him go down here. But Tidehunter far too tanky. And this is another reason why Dream Coil dropped defensively. What the heck was that? Yeah, that was I mean, that's kind of a big waste there. You're still looking at a rabbit. You're still looking at a black hole. You're still looking at a panda ult. They can go for well, actually, all the outer towers are down, except for the one up top. They could go for Rex. Yeah, they could even threaten Rex, man. I mean,
yeah, that's 1.5 minutes without either of your ults. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, your earthshaker. Well, he's close to a blink dagger. Actually, he's going for a force staff, which I mean, I would probably just save for the blink. You're really close to it right now. And you know, force staff is a nice.
Invisibility.
Well, if
he even his though.
Well, I think he's saving for blink because he's got it if he wants it.
No, the force staff recipe looks great out. So it might not be his.
Did he steal an allied recipe? What is going on in this game, man? I'm confused. Tower is getting sieged up in the bottom lane, taking a ton of damage. This is power Pugna, the power of Edict. He's working that tower down so quickly. Ward on the low ground. Earthshaker coming in. Invis. This could be an amazing initiation. Will he get it? Is the question. He's looking for an opening. They're not grouping up. Nice spread here from Veyron. Perhaps using that ESP. Lich ultimate getting dropped. Oh, Earthshaker, use your ultimate before too late. Huge echo slam on 2. Ravage to reply. OD ult is dropped. Panda ult is dropped. And a decent damage from the Radiant will be enough. No wards, no puck, Dream Coil. Just yet, Dream Coil up in 5 seconds. I don't think it's going to be enough. BKB on the leshrac. Just wore off. Pugna goes down. Everyone dies for the Radiant. It's looking bleak. One set of racks. Probably going to be the cost here. Maybe more. The Black Hole still available. Veyron being very patient with their teamfight ultimates. And they have more to work with than the Radiant. So Gizmo, you know, a little bit greedy as OD does go down to the power of all these single target nukes. Big plays coming out from Veyron. Looks like they're going to take a game 1 win. I mean, of course, there is the potential for a comeback. As I say that, initiation from Shadow Shaman drops the ward, but it's by himself. The coordination is just not there. He's actually going to go down in a second.
That last team fight. If only.
Yeah, I mean, if he had them, they would have at least defended the Rex. Instead, the Rex do go down. It's going to be an uphill battle now, and I think the gold graph is appropriately reflecting that, as it is looking like Mount Everest, or maybe not Mount Everest, but some other small mountain, perhaps Mount Washington, would be more appropriate.
Oh, if they had those two, if they had the wards and the Dream Coil up, they could easily have taken that fight. That was a great echo slam, and the ward and the Pugna ward disappeared just before he echo slammed.
Yeah, it would have been
really no better time to initiate.
Yeah, and he's got the Blink Dagger finally, so there's a ray of hope going their way. The problem is OD needs a BKB to contribute. leshrac already has his BKB. Is there any other? Oh, yep, Enigma's got his as well. So suddenly your OD, he's not going to be hitting that hard for 2 of these heroes. Tidehunter, well, he's not that tanky. You know, of course, the pure damage will ignore that Tidehunter's Kraken shell, so he'll be pretty happy about that. It'll ignore the armor, but nonetheless, I mean, the Dire are looking very tanky. Pugna with the mechanism and the force staff. Who do you pick off? It's just you got to kill at least a couple of these heroes immediately. But I don't think they have the don't have the horses to do it. I believe that's the saying.
They need to take out the Pugna immediately. Maybe pick him off or just initiate on him.
Yes, but how do you kill that which cannot be killed? It's a Pugna with a force staff and a mechanism, as well as a point booster. He's working towards an Aghanim's, or maybe he'll get a BKB as well. Frankly, I think that would be the better choice. But we'll see.
Yeah, with two BKBs up on these core heroes, there's just too much damage being output for the for Radiant to withstand. Did they even use the Aegis?
Let's see here. Do they have an Aegis? I guess they did. Frankly, I don't even remember who picked it up because this game has been pretty action-packed.
Oh yeah, they did. Puck stole it.
Oh yeah, Puck stole it, you're right. 5 heroes smoked up for Veyron. Could be big initiation. Earthshaker has the blink, not gonna be able to use it. He gets clapped. Will the Panda be able to drop the ult? No, he's getting silenced. Lich Chainfrost doing a ton of damage. Ravage on a couple of heroes. The Chainfrost still bouncing, but the BKB is negating most of that. Godlike leshrac, he's too strong. The BKB not up on OD, or he'd be doing a lot more work. Gush coming out. leshrac continuing to chase. Looks like Lich may get away, but who cares? His Chainfrost is down. This should mean another set of racks, or at least the tier 2 top. I don't know what Lich was thinking with this path, but it's gonna mean his doom. Gets caught by Murrah here. Oh, poor Lich. This is not where he wants to be. No frost armor. Not gonna matter.
Panda just chilling out.
Enigma with the nice kill steal. leshrac, man, this is the power of this hero. He's skipping lightning. He's going for the quick pulse nova. He got it at level 6. He gets it again at level 11. And he's just doing work now. And he's tanky to boot between the BKB as well as the additional stats. You can't bring him down, but you can't ignore him either.
Oh, and this is going to be a Rax and probably game as well. Radiant have literally no way to
Radiant's top tower is under
all the ults
attack.
are down.
It's-
Earthshaker could get off a... He could initiate, but then he'll promptly melt within 2 seconds.
Yeah, that Pugna ward, man. And not to mention all the other nukes. The tower goes down. Basically, no defense was mounted. Jane has his hands full dealing with this bottom lane. Meanwhile, it looks like Newbie might get caught out. This will be a big kill. Enchant Totem to follow. Yep, he's going to go down. So, I mean, it's not a game-changing kill, but hey, they'll happily take that kill on the Pugna. Item progression here. Enigma picks up a Blink Dagger. Let's take a look at the items in general. BKBs are the goal for pretty much everyone in this game. Shadow Shaman working towards one. OD should have his, yeah, just 600 gold. BKB is complete on Enigma. Pipe up on the Tidehunter. Any other big item pickups? I'm guessing Panda has a lot of gold. Yeah, he's up to 1400. Pugna, with that death, still steady at 1800. If he wants to go for the Aghanims, he's got it in 200 gold. Guys, I do apologize if the stream is lagging. That's not on my end. It's probably your connections or Twitch TV. The only thing I could say is tell Twitch TV you would like quality options on my stream. I can't magically make them appear. That's something they have to do. So maybe your connections can't support it. I'm guessing that's what it is. But I apologize for the difficulties. This will be available on VOD, so if you want to catch it later, that option will certainly be available to you. Took a look at the item progression. Let's take a look at the gold graph. It's a pretty big lead, no surprises there. The Dire up to 14,000. Puck maybe gonna get caught here. He's got the blink, does blink out. Panda clapped and then ran the other way. I don't know what that was all about, but in the end,
I'm not sure what the Dire are waiting for. Looks like they were pinging on Roshan, which is currently up. But you don't even need the Aegis right now. You can just basically march in and destroy the tower.
yeah, Leshrac's got a bloodstone. I mean, this guy is farmed.
He's had 14 kills and a single death. Wow.
Oh, I actually have not even looked at the scoreboard. 14-1-6 for veteran. We knew he was playing well, but even better than expected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus 5. He's got more kills than the entire Radiant team combined, man. Well, I did the math. I could have just looked up top, but either way.
Yeah.
This leshrac is beefy. He's been involved in 20 out of 26 kills. That is impressive participation. Puck, I don't know if I mentioned it, or I did before. He's got the blink. Earthshaker has had his in the last team fight. Smoke up from the Radiant. They want to fight outside of the base. I like the thinking, but I don't know if you want to run into these heroes on the high ground. The Dire might oblige by backing off. They are going to back off. Lich leading the way, looking for a Chain Frost opening. Not going to get it. Initiation on leshrac. Not going to pop the BKB. Black hole. Where's the black hole? Black hole. Black hole. What are you waiting for? I have no idea what he's waiting for. Ravage going to be dropped. Black hole to follow. Everyone pretty much dying. The Chain Frost bouncing around doing a ton of damage. Shadow Shaman Ward's doing a decent amount of damage, but Panda tanking a lot of those up. Puck in jeopardy here. Should be able to phase and blink away. Indeed, he will. He blinks up for some reason, but the Dire not going to chase. That was a very delayed black hole. I think almost too much, but in the end, it worked out okay for them.
I guess he just wanted his pick of heroes. Even without the black hole, they had that team fight. Like that was a really good initiation from the Radiant, but then just too strong. Too many good items.
Yeah, that's really a perfect example of there's just too many high priority targets right now. On the Dire squad. You gotta kill the Pugna.
You've gotta kill leshrac, you've gotta kill panda. Just can't choose.
And they're all 2 tank. I mean, there's just nobody you can burst down. And even if you get one, the other 3 or 4 can certainly counter-initiate. Oh, Pugna going for a big play here. The life drain, not quite enough. But this Pugna is beefy, man. 1500 HP, 12 armor.
Beefy.
Yeah.
leshrac has 1.8k HP.
Yeah, phase boots
You're not
picked
gonna
up
bring
on
that
him.
guy down.
Yeah, and even if they do, he's got the bloodstone. Well, actually only 4 charges. I guess he did get burst down in the last fight, but it just did not matter at all.
And there's the Aegis and the inevitable GG man.
Yeah, Veyron playing a very safe, methodical game. Actually surprising, well, not surprising, but you know, a lot of Southeast Asian teams prefer to sort of go balls deep, constantly diving, being very aggressive. Veyron a little bit more patient, focusing on towers. Sure, they'll take the hero kills where they can get them, but they're not going to dive to do it. At least not unless they have a clear advantage. Going for Roshan now, rather than just trying to force the game. And, you know, waiting for that Enigma ult to come up, waiting for the Panda ult to come up, and then I expect to see a mid push for the win.
It's certainly the safest and best choice, but not very entertaining. apparently one of the administrators is having problem with Veyron, so I guess that's more interesting than this much.
Well, I'm not going to say this is a snoozer. There have been a lot of kills. But at this point, I gotta say, the chances of the Radiant comeback increasingly small. Even if they get perfect initiation, and I want to say they had very good initiation that last team fight. It just doesn't matter. You know, you're not going to kill everyone in time.
The only way they could win a team fight is if they picked off someone who was solo. But then these guys are never alone. Even if they're alone, they back off really fast. Like the guy who's been solo the most has been Pugna on the top lane. Other than that, they've always been grouped up.
Well, and he's got a 4-staff, he's got Decrepify, he's got the mechanism. And of course he's got the ward. Yeah, so good luck killing him. You better have perfect chain stun. OD did pick up a BKB, so he'll be a little bit harder to bring down, but I feel like the Dire can ignore him with all of their BKBs. Pops the BKB defensively. Panda just going to look to run out of here. Smart choice by him. Edith coming out, Fissure coming out. Will we see full initiation? Panda drops the ult, blinks in on 2. Lich ult bouncing around. Ravage only hitting 1 from the looks of it. Enigma fishing for a black hole, still chasing. Just kill the Rax, guys. You don't have to get any more kills. Enigma is going to apparently heed my advice. No, just kidding. Clearly playing it smart. Boulder toss coming out, Shadow Shaman, just delaying the inevitable. Game is over. Earthshaker, big Echo Slam. Enchant Totem, Fissure to follow. They're going to get 2. Oh, they're going to get anyone. Huge, huge Enigma black hole to counter. Nobody ducks on the Radiant. I can't believe it. Oh, I thought they had 3 more kills there for sure. GG's coming out from the spectators. GG's coming out from Gizmo. Game was good. Game is over. Veyron, such patience, such coordination in these team fights. The Enigma black holes, I was saying they were late earlier. That wasn't late. That was perfect timing. And what a play from him.
Well, that was interesting.
Veyron looks strong. I mean, I'm not familiar with Gizmo, so I'm not saying they're the best opponent in the world, but I gotta give Veyron a lot of credit. They went for a team fight lineup, they went for a pushing lineup, they tri-laned an Enigma, and they made it work. And honestly, I mean, sure, Enigma's not horrible in the tri-lane, but it's certainly not something you see a whole lot of. Pugna did well in his lane. Panda died once mid, but he still got decent farm. He controlled the runes okay. As soon as he hit level 6, he went on the offensive. leshrac gonna drop, just losing the Aegis. The right click of this Pugna is too powerful, man. He's actually destroying OD here. OD forced to run back to the fountain. This is probably the only time you'll ever see a Pugna chasing down an OD at this stage of the game. I certainly don't expect to see it. Puck going in, just looking to feed. Split Earth not going to hit. Malefice comes out. Gush comes out. Pugna doing work. Pugna doing work. Pugna do some work just so I don't sound stupid. A bunch of disconnects were made by the Radiant. OD's valiantly trying to win the fight by himself. I guess I'll stop play-by-playing as the throne is about to go down. But, I mean, Siege, any sort of, not closing thoughts, but what's your take on the game overall and the teams in particular?
Oh, that was a pretty well played game by Veyron. I feel that the Radiant could have picked better with their support, etc., or at least laned it better. The same could be said for the Dire, and a little bit of last minute Phoenix drawing by the Panda. Always classy.
Yeah, shout out to the Dota community for being classy as always. That was sarcastic, by the way. Alright guys, that is going to do it for this commentary. Siege, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you'll be joining me in the future. Guys, as always...
My pleasure.
Oh, sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you have any shout-outs, feel free to make them now. Do you have any shout-outs?
Nope.
Okay, no shout-outs from Siege.
Enjoyed this. As always, it's been a pleasure, and enjoy the cast, guys.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you had lag issues you want to check it out later, the VOD will be up on YouTube. But for now, that's going to do it, guys. Thanks for watching. And this is LD and Siege, done for the day. I may be doing some pubs, so if you guys want to join me, I'm not sure if Siege will be joining me, then stick around. I'll let you guys know in a few minutes. I need to grab something to eat real quick, though, as I'm starving, man. I ate breakfast at 7, or actually it was like 5 or 6 a.m., and it's now 11 here. Also want to mention, the Premier League is, I believe we have a game coming up today. So definitely stay tuned for that. You can check that out on dotacommentaries.com. And if you enjoyed me